Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Reflections in Cinema. I will be your guest, Mr. Four Chambers, aka Semi. Let's get right into it. So, for episode 2, we're going to focus on the film, the classic, the masterpiece, Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather Part 1. Not really the film, but a hot take. I was having a conversation with myself, and we're going to focus on two characters that I believe hold this film together. That I believe without these two characters, this movie, this classic, this masterpiece doesn't hold up quite as well without these two very strong characters. The characters in question, Don Vito Corleone and his son, Sonny, played by James Caan. And we all know the Don, played by Marlon Brando. Now, these two characters are so iconic. More so, Marlon Brando's take on Don Vito Corleone. That my hot take is without his presence, without his on screen just phenomenal energy, this movie, The Godfather Part 1, would cease from being the masterpiece that it is. That's how integral, that's how crucial Brando's performance, his presence is to this film. His son, Sonny, played by James Caan, also does a phenomenal job. His presence as the hot-headed, hot-tempered son is incredible as well. Al Pacino, him playing Michael, he's good, but Al, I'm sorry, in this you don't compare to the presence of James Caan and Marlon Brando, man. I mean, just Brando's entrance alone in this film, his first like on-screen um reveal as uh the Don Vito Corleone is so iconic. In my opinion, it's probably the best character reveal in all of cinema. How he's sitting back and you only get to see the side of his face as he's rubbing the cat or whatever. And then you get the reveal once the mortician he pulls back from me because he goes in his ear to whisper, and then as he pulls back, the camera pulls back and reveal. Oh man, amazing piece of cinema magic. But I digress. But yes, in this reflective reflection episode, I just wanted to really focus on that. It was something I was talking to myself about how sometimes in movies the story can be good, the plot can be good, but you know the characters can really be the thing that bring you back to watching a movie over and over and over again. Not necessarily the story or the plot, it's the characters that can really do it. But yes, Marlon Brando as the Don, he has so many iconic moments, so many iconic quotes in this movie. I mean, it's the main reason why I choose part one over part two and part three, part three of The Godfather. Part one just does it for me. I first saw it want to say my early teens, and it made an impression on me. And I think it was because of the portrayal that Brando did as the Don. Man, he did a amazing job, and just the way his movements, his subtle ways he gestures, and he uses his hands and his eyes and his voice and his body, all I mean everything is just amazing, top tier acting, man. So Brando, I just feel like Brando, his performance don't get enough credit, and it doesn't really get enough credit as far as like the impact it had on The Godfather Part One, and why without his presence, without his um performance, how less of a movie this movie would be without him is very, very obvious to me, you know. But it was just that that thought just came to me recently where I was just like, man, like The Godfather, it's a great story, you know. We all know what it's about. It's about family, it's about power, it's about betrayal, it's the mafia, you know, it's about succession, all these many things. But I was just thinking like, yeah, without Marlon Brando, this movie is kind of whack. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes back to the importance of having very interesting and very charismatic characters that can pull you in and never let go until they exit the story. And that's what the character Don Vito Corleone does in this movie. But yes, I love The Godfather. Uh, Particularly part one. That's my favorite. Two is good, but part one is my favorite. You know, for the obvious reason of Brando and James Caan playing Sonny. Sonny, spoiler alert, he goes out in a very really splattery, bloody way. But his character, you could really learn a lot from his character if you really pay attention. Like he was extremely emotional. He had anger issues, and he just couldn't quite control his anger and his emotions, and it just led him to his own demise. So that's something that we could all learn, especially young men could learn to really, from that character, to learn how to control your emotions and control your anger, and don't be a crash out dummy, because it could lead to some bloody, terrible life ending, choices. So something to think about. So yeah, that was my quick reflective uh of the classic The Godfather Part 1. I just wanted to share some quick thoughts on why I believe without the great portrayal that Marlon Brando does as Don Vito, this movie just doesn't stand up that well. It doesn't hold up that well, to me at least. And I stand by that. But I still love this movie. It's classic masterpiece. But that's my hot take on Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather Part One. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna be bringing episode 3 very soon. So until next time, stay tuned until the next episode. Take care.